Hello everybody, Algelger the SideQuest Gamer here, and today we're going to review a very special game that many people overlooked, honestly. It's a very popular fantasy series, and many of you have played its sequels. So without further ado, today I am going to review The Elder Scrolls II Daggerfall. Is there a particular reason why it didn't sell well? Well, I'll take a look at the game and see for yourself. The Elder Scrolls series is well known thanks to the commercial success of Morrowind, Oblivion, and especially Skyrim. However, this is one of those game series that had a very rocky start, like Street Fighter and Metal Gear. Arguably the rockiest start in video games. The first entry was simply called The Elder Scrolls Arena. Was full of glitches, the enemy AI was atrocious, and the game crashed so many times it was unplayable, and due to its spring release rather than a fall release, it sold very poorly. Elder Scrolls II Daggerfall, the sequel, however, was maybe not the best in the series, but it has a cult following and is arguably the biggest game in the series. When I mean big, I mean the world in it is so huge. You never run out of things to do, and it is so much fun. The Elder Scrolls II Daggerfall was developed by Bethesda and released in 1996. It also sold poorly, but has a cult following and is now available for free for download, but works with the DOSBox emulator, so be sure to download DOSBox if your computer is a Windows 7 and beyond. One thing worth noting is that the main factions you see in the later games, like the Dark Brotherhood, the Mages Guild, and the Thieves Guild, are introduced in this game, or at least given a proper introduction. Now, when you start the game, you can customize your character and make them any race from Dark Elf, Nord, Argonian, Khajiit, Woodland Elf, Redguard, Breton, or High Elf. And there may be others I might have missed. But these races, although are mainly for cosmetic reasons, since unlike later installments, they don't come with exclusive abilities, except for the High Elf and the Nord, who I believe have an immunity to paralysis. But what you make your race start out with is entirely up to you. Do you want to make your character a mage or a thief? That's all up to you, and you start out with an X amount of points and give them to each stat as you please. So if you want to make your character start out more in tone with magic, give a lot of these points to the willpower stat. Do you want your character to instead have a great prowess with weapons? Then give most of these points to the strength stat. There are many stats that you can give points to, like defense and others, so play around with the settings as you please. You might have to do this a few times, but it shouldn't take long. When choosing what type of class you want to master in, you can either answer 12 questions based on your personality and morality, or choose it yourself. This also goes for the type of magic you want to master in. Like, do you want to master in Daedric arts, or the normal, typical magic that's less evil? Do you want to be the type of warrior that masters in swordsmanship, or do you want to be an archer? It's all up to you. Now, you may be asking, what is the story of Daggerfall? Well, you see a full motion video of a meeting between you and first person beating the Emperor secretly as he sets you off on a quest to investigate a ghost sighting. He also wants you to retrieve a letter before anyone else gets their hands on it. What's in the letter? He doesn't tell you. So, your ship crashes into Daggerfall and you're washed up ashore into a dungeon, oddly, and you arrived in Daggerfall. But you have to make it out of the dungeon first, and then you can explore the land as you choose. So, your character starts out in a dungeon full of imps, bears, animated skeletons, and battle mages. Now, there is no compass, unlike in later installments, but the M key brings up the dungeon map, and you can try to find an exit which resembles an unlit chimney. Collect weapons and armor and try to battle your way out of the dungeon. Save frequently, because you will, and I mean you will, die many times in this dungeon. Spells are effective against mortal enemies like battle mages and bears, but imps and skeletons I found to be immune to my damage health spell. Learn new spells by reading certain books, but if you also want to improve any skill, use them a lot even if there is no enemies around. Then rest for hours when no enemies are around and your skills will gradually improve. Be sure to collect gold laying around in the dungeon. You'll need it for your travels to get some new weapons and armor, although some shopkeepers are either racist or don't like strangers and won't even sell you anything, so beware. The land, although pixelated, is massive and beautiful and really impresses me that developers could handle all of that. The NPCs and enemies are also pixelated, but looked good for its time and can be very helpful in your quest. But sometimes there's a glitch where even if you're polite, they get offended by your tone. I don't know why, and I've encountered a glitch in the country of Sentinel where after I went into a dungeon and barely escaped, everyone but the Mages Guild, some shopkeepers, and Knights Guild members stopped talking to me. I checked my reputation with the I key, and I'm still just a common citizen, meaning no one should hate me. I've yet to return to Daggerfall to see if they also won't talk to me. Because it can get rather inconvenient when no one will talk to you and you need to find someone or some place to complete a side quest or a main quest. There's infinite side quests you can embark on. There is a main quest that starts when you get a letter from a woman telling you to meet her in some tavern in Daggerfall, but all of these quests are timed, so you might want to invest in a horse and a wagon to save travel time. There are many glitches I've encountered where two different doors would lead into the same point in space. I'd like to call this the wormhole glitch. It doesn't happen all the time, and I've only experienced this in towns and taverns, but it can disrupt some side quests since the objective may have been on the other side of the wormhole glitched door. There's also this glitch known as the Void, where you can phase through stairs or the wall or the floor and either get stuck or fall through the solid object and die. Warning, when saving, make sure you're not trapped in the Void. In fact, be sure to have copies of your saved games just to be on the safe side. Better safe than sorry, not to be cliché. The gameplay is that of a first-person action RPG. How fast and difficult you want the enemies is up to you, but warning, if you want to stand a chance against the enemies, choose normal or lower since they can be pretty darn fast on normal speed. But the quests and adventures you partake in are completely optional. Even the main quest, which has multiple endings, and diverging quests which you can pick one over the other and it will affect the ending. I dare say that this is like the Minecraft of the Elder Scrolls series, where how you embark on your adventure is entirely up to you. What you do and the choices you make affect your reputation, and whether you want to be good or evil is up to you. As a result, you'll have little to no idea what to do next and proceed through the side quests, so check your logbook in case you can't remember where to go on a certain quest. I don't usually recommend this, but download a walkthrough for this game to see how to trigger the next quest in the main quest. Like one main quest requires you to get level 3 of your overall stats. The controls are all on the keyboard and mouse. You can customize them and even use a gamepad controller, but I haven't tried that out yet. But to study the controls and configure them to how you see fit. The controls are decent, and it's hard to fit everything onto a keyboard. Item selection is mainly mouse dominant as well as combat. The combat is problematic at times where you constantly have to move your mouse in random directions and hope that the enemy will get hit by your weapon. The music is quite memorable and well done for 1996. It has a medieval theme rather than the orchestra in later installments, but I don't mind. It gives a joyful atmosphere in like towns or taverns. I like how dungeons are mainly silent, and you hear doors opening and chains jingling, and your heart races due to mainly silence. It's terrifying, especially with the battle mages lurking around in any corner, ready to kill you and put your head on a stake. The sound effects are good too. In my opinion, they still hold up. The sound effects are so good that must have really taken a very advanced sound card in order to even play this game. Overall, I would give this game a solid 90 out of 100, with a few glitches here and there, and a poor to decent weaponry combat for melee combat. This game is a fantastic adventure, and although it may be upstaged by later installments in the series, this game deserves a wider audience, and especially since it's free. I barely scratched the surface at the possibilities this game has to offer, and this is the most adventurous of the Elder Scrolls series, in my opinion. It may not be the best, but it's a great start for the series with some of its glitches. The story doesn't mainly matter except how you involve yourself in it. And I can't stress this enough, but this game is freaking huge. I dreamed of this forever game for years as a kid, where even when you beat the game, there's still so much to do and the side quests never end. I finally had that dream come true. It's not the best in the series, but it's so much fun. Be sure to give it a try. I mean, it's free. You might like it, you might not. It's not for everybody and very tricky to get into, but invest your time in it and you might get a great gaming experience out of it. Thank you all so much for watching this episode of the SideQuest Gamer. If you're new here, please subscribe to my channel. I'd like to have you on it. New reviews come out every week. Please like, comment, subscribe. Thank you all so much again for watching this episode. And remember to stay awesome.